Climate change is an invisible threat that, if the world doesn't start taking the necessary steps to slow it down or stop it, every human, all wildlife, and all plants will eventually die, and the earth will die itself. As someone who is very interested in climate change and has taken multiple courses on it, I believe I am educated enough to inform the audience on why we need to stop climate change. Climate change is relevant in today's world because it kills roughly 150,000 people yearly, and these numbers are just growing every year. So, with such an invisible problem that most people aren't educated on, it's killing that many people yearly, and this number is just rising yearly. So, we have to show some precaution to slow down the process. During the speech today, I will be informing the audience on what climate change is, how it's affecting Earth, and what makes climate change worse and just completely screws over Earth. Climate change is a change in the Earth's normal temperatures. So pollutants, or just pollution by itself, emits gases into the ozone layer, which makes the ozone layer thinner, which causes the sun's ray beams to just hit Earth harder than usual, which completely changes our weather patterns, makes the Earth hotter, just changes everything. As Joseph J. Romm said, climate change will have a bigger impact than the internet did. Everybody knows what the internet did and how it changed basically life forever. Climate change is something that we don't want to change our life, because the only thing it can do is change it for the worse. Cold places will get hot, things like forest fires, it can just completely kill Earth and kill all of us. So if we don't do something about it soon, it's just going to get worse and worse to eventually the point where we can't go back. Now that I've explained kind of what climate change is and how it works, I'm going to be talking about the effects it has on Earth. Scott G. McNeil said, "Climate change is a wicked problem that could affect population growth, environmental degradation, and world problems." So a lot of problems in the world today, no one puts climate change as the factor for them, which in fact, it's an invisible factor. To most of the problems today, at least in the environment, climate change is like the number one factor, but no one sees that because most people aren't educated in what climate change actually does to Earth. Things like glaciers are shrinking, which means that all the wildlife in places like Antarctica are having nowhere to go. They're dying off. It's just a lot of different species are feeling the effects. And glaciers actually tie into how the humans feel the effects, as with the glaciers shrinking, it puts more water into our oceans, which causes more floods yearly. Like the number of floods is rising yearly. And everybody knows what a flood is. A flood completely destroys communities, puts everybody in debt. It just completely destroys everything. And that's all because of climate change. Another big thing that climate change does to Earth is wildfires. Wildfires have gone up this year than any year, such as the Amazon one. And that's because of all the pollution and the ozone layers making the Earth a lot hotter, and our forests are burning down, our wildlife's dying, causing people to die, causing communities to be destroyed, and no one's taking really any steps to kind of stop it. Now I'm going to be talking about the different things that contribute to climate change. As Vincenzo Patello said, pollution overall is closely affiliated with climate change. So any pollution, air pollution, ocean pollution, just you throw your can on the side of the street, all these things emit gases into the air, like I said before in this speech, that destroy the ozone layer. Without the ozone layer, we would all die. The Earth would be way too hot, and we're already starting on that path. Ocean pollution is a very important one because the more pollution that goes into our waters is making our waters more acidic. And it will get to the point where we won't be able to get in our waters anymore, and then we won't have water. Burning fossil fuels is another big one that completely destroys the environment. As everyone has a car, I do it myself, but that's something that really is contributing like the most to climate change because everything is on gas now. Electric cars is what we all need to have so that climate change will basically go down. During the speech, I spoke about what climate change is and how it's affecting all of us. It is an invisible threat that we will all face the consequences for if we don't all step up and do something about it now. Overall, climate change will never go away, and without humanity being aware of what it is, how it works, and how to stop it, eventually one day we will all die because of it, and nobody wants that, especially when we can take steps to fight it. Thank you.
Here's my note cards.